Hi, everyone, and welcome to East Brunswick's J. Doyle Field. Gordy Deal alongside Reagan, Tetti as we get set to watch our first ever broadcast of girls varsity lacrosse here at East Brunswick High School. Based on that, we'll be running through a lot of the basics with you tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first. For South Brunswick in the away, black jerseys, black kilts, and yellow socks. At first home will be number 34, Dalila Atkins. At second home will be Candace Burgos. The number 5 is Priya Nandrapan. Number 2 is Tanya Earl. Number 13, Ali Nemchek. Number 6 will be Jen Gaze. Number 12, Jolene Duca. Number 11, Lauren Cauters. Number 4, Kelly O'Toole. Number 16, Sarah Sneerer. Number 20, Valerie Miller. And number 00 in goal, Danielle Fiorentino. For East Brunswick, the Bears, no seniors on this squad. At first home will be number 9, Janine McMillan, who's also their leading scorer with 11 goals. Second home, Anna Magic. She wears number 44. Number 19 at third home is Chantel Hagen. The center is number 33, Erin Balint. Left attack wing, number 11, Lee Ingram, who's also one of the captains. Along with Justine Barbado, who wears number 13, Lauren Clark, number 33, Ashley Barbado, number 32, Nicole Germo, number 7, Shannon Miller, another captain, number 48, Caitlin Park, number 40, and Danny Schneider, number 39, captain and in goal for the Bears, who are working left to right. So Reagan, explain a little bit of what the first-time viewer is going to see tonight.
Okay, well, we just went through the center draw, and that's to determine which team gets possession. And looks as though right now they're grappling for it.
My partner, by the way, tonight is a former Rutgers University lacrosse player, finishing out her academic career since the playing career is now over. Used up all 4 years, huh?
Yes.
Time is up. Do you miss it?
I miss it a lot.
Yeah.
We had a great season last year, going to the NCAAs for the first time in Rutgers history. It was a lot of fun.
Watching also 2 very young programs here. East Brunswick only in its second season under head coach Jen Regg, who's been the coach both those years, and South Brunswick even younger, only their first ever season in lacrosse.
I think that whistle was called perhaps for a body ball. When the ball hits your body and not your stick, the other team gets possession.
All right. And no contact here. This is a finesse game. We're not going to see people whacking each other with sticks. And there's a goal for East Brunswick.
A nice shot. She did a little dodge first. Get her opponent out of the way.
So East Brunswick on the board first, 1-0. Janine McMillan with her 12th goal this season in the bandana. We're talking about this being a young sport. There are actually only 3 teams in all of Middlesex County that have a girls lacrosse program. East Brunswick and South Brunswick obviously being 2, and Old Bridge the other one. So the ball is actually being placed between the 2 sticks.
Yes, and then the referee will blow her whistle, or his whistle, and the ball is projected into the air, and then a team comes up with it.
Then it actually becomes like a jump ball.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
Interesting thing about lacrosse, too, is that the out of bounds does not actually stop at where the goalposts are. How much room do you actually have? To the white line behind?
Well, yeah, basically natural boundaries is what you tend to use.
Natural boundaries.
I mean, if there's a bench, then obviously you can't really play in there.
She's obviously behind the white line now.
Yes.
They'll let her go, say, to the
absolutely
maroon padding back there?
Right. Not really sure why that flag was called. Maybe contact. Okay, that's a yellow card.
Caution being assigned to East Brunswick.
And she needs to come out of the game.
This will be a 2-minute penalty?
I believe so.
And they do get the substitute. Sherry Liu comes into the game. as Ashley Barbado takes a breather after getting the caution. South Brunswick will have it behind the net.
It was a nice check by East Brunswick. Yeah, no body checking in this game, only stick checking to get the ball away from your opponent. And this is an 8-meter. This is a free position.
And the shot goes wide for South Brunswick. Delilah Atkins with a chance for the Vikings. We'll play 2 25-minute halves. East Brunswick on the season 0-4 with some stiff competition early on, having played Stewart Day School, Princeton, West Windsor, Plainsboro, and Bridgewater, some of the more elite programs in the state. South Brunswick comes in with a mark of 1-1. Here comes Janine McMillan. McMillan in front with her second goal, but we have a flag.
The flag is disregarded because she scored.
That would mean a delayed penalty.
Right.
If you lose possession, you would actually gain it back.
Exactly.
2-0 East Brunswick on the strength of Janine McMillan's 2 goals. And there are limits as to where certain players can be on the field. Correct?
Correct.
It becomes, I think, the way it was explained to me, a 7-on-7
right.
in the 1 end plus the goalie.
With 4 players behind the restraining line. It's a new rule, a few years old. Cut down on crowdedness.
And the players cannot actually shoot from within the goalie's circle.
Right. The crease is called.
You cannot even have a follow through.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing. And when a player gets a little too close, they'll put her 4 meters behind the other player. She caught the ball.
No hands.
No hands.
So it looked like she could have used the second stick actually that time. 1 for each hand.
Yeah.
So here comes South Brunswick the other way.
It's a nice ground ball pickup.
Ball regained by East Brunswick. Here's McMillan with yet another chance. A delayed penalty, and East Brunswick will get it back. 2-0 Bears here in the first half.
This is, I believe, no, it's just not a, it is a free position. It's an 8-meter. It's a nice shot and goal.
So East Brunswick breaks out. 3rd goal. Ashley Barbado with the goal, and EB leads at 3-0.
It's nice control of the ball. Center draw really, especially when you get to college, can have a lot to do with the outcome of the game. You know, the momentum and
here's McMillan. Shot goes over the top. Explain why the kilts.
well, I think it's basically tradition. You're seeing some shorts now, but you know, just like field hockey, they wear kilts too. And some programs are starting to wear shorts, actually.
I always thought that must have been a man who designed uniforms for sports like the women's field hockey and women's lacrosse.
Possibly.
South Brunswick on the attack. The chance for Priya Nanjapan. Throws inside for Atkins. Atkins in a battle with Shannon Miller, among others.
It's a ground ball. And what she's doing now is cradling, and that's how you keep the ball in your stick.
McMillan giving chase. Working against Valerie Miller. Miller wearing number 20 with the ball. And here comes Atkins. Atkins on the run, but dropped it.
It's a left-handed player. Which is sometimes an advantage.
Atkins backs it off for Lauren Cauters. This is Cauters, number 11. Shot is blocked. And a goal for South Brunswick. Vikings on the board make it 3-1. Basically 2 players getting it going for South Brunswick, and Delilah Atkins, who initially brought the ball down, and then it was Cauters who made kind of the run around the arc and was able to penetrate.
Sometimes after a goal, the other team, the one who got scored on, can request a stick check, and that's to make sure that the girl's stick is legal. I'm not sure if they did that just now, but in that case, the goal would be taken back.
If you truly distrusted the other team, you could do it after every goal, I guess.
Well, I think you
Okay.
actually get a limit of 1 per half.
Okay. This is Jen Gaze, number 6 for South Brunswick.
So a nice check by East Brunswick.
Shannon Miller, number 48, in the neighborhood. Here's McMillan again. McMillan
Nice.
looking for her 3rd goal and
Nice.
gets it.
It's a nice ground ball shot. Really using her speed.
Most difficult for a goalie. Ones that
Very,
are thrown right at her feet.
very difficult.
And the goalie really only with the slight advantage of a bigger net on the stick.
Right.
Almost like a butterfly catcher. How much padding is the goalie actually wearing?
She has chest protectors, shoulder pads. There's just chin guard, and I'm sure that she's wearing shin guards as well. Some players in college don't wear them, though.
And for good reason. That lacrosse ball is one of the hardest things going.
Yeah.
Heavier than a baseball,
Yes, it is.
but just rock hard. Here comes South Brunswick on the attack, trailing 4-1. Shot blocked. And a whistle. The interesting thing about lacrosse is when the referee blows the whistle, the players actually have to freeze in their
Exactly.
spots, which is unusual.
Right.
That, I guess, allows referees to count maybe players are in a certain area, things like that.
Yeah. You know, I'm not really sure why that rule is.
Jen Regg, the East Brunswick coach, telling me before the game that since a lot of her team is soccer players, and they're used to just kind of wandering around after whistle blows. It was difficult to get used to at first, where you just have to freeze in your tracks. Here comes McMillan again. Real thorn in the side so far tonight of this South Brunswick defense. East Brunswick leads at 4-1. McMillan has 3 goals.
It's a nice cut by number 44. Another cut. Now they're just cutting to try to receive the ball.
McMillan can hold as long as she wants.
There's a flag. And a goal.
Another goal, McMillan. East Brunswick now 5-1. It looked like South Brunswick had gained a little bit of momentum after the goal. They had put together a nice attack and made it 3-1. But since then, McMillan has come back and answered with 2 of her own to push the lead to 5-1. You ever taken a good whack with the lacrosse ball?
Yes, many times. You just kind of get used to it. Goalies definitely have it the worst. There are some areas that aren't protected, and
the ball always seems to find them, doesn't it?
Exactly. Looks like they're trying to set up a play.
Is there a limit in terms of the amount of time she can hold the ball?
No. You can hold it as long as you want. And McMillan's trying to get in the way of her view.
East Brunswick in search of its first win of the season, leading here 5-1 about midway through the first half. Most of the game has been played in this end.
Now that's not a free position because it was not inside of the 8 meters, the 8-meter arc. So she had to pass the ball. It's called an indirect.
Has to be a difficult sport to play defense with because you're technically not allowed to be in the player's line of shot.
Right.
Is that correct?
That would be called shooting space.
What's the theory on playing defense then?
To
just knock it out of the other person's.
Well, to actually stay next to them and force them in different directions so they can't. It's another nice goal by McMillan.
McMillan cashes in again. That's 4. That's make that 5 on the night. East Brunswick leads at 6-1. So basically, as a defender, try to change the direction of which way the attacker is running.
Yeah.
And you can't bump shoulders.
No. It's real difficult.
You just kind of wish the player to change directions, or how do you actually do it?
I
mean, if you were to describe a good defender.
I would describe someone who can get in the way of the path of the attacker and kind of force them the other way, like in basketball, when, let's say, you would try to switch someone to use their left hand dribbling, kind of that, like play body like that.
Okay.
And in college, it gets very difficult because attackers are extremely fast, and, you know, it's a lot easier to just throw your stick out than to get actual body and force them to do other things. It's a nice roll dodge by number 1. Not seeing a lot of switching hands, and I guess that's because they're young programs, but you get a little more advanced, you start switching hands.
And a goal for South Brunswick. Candace Burgos gets the goal for the Vikings. It is now 6-2 East Brunswick. Heather Wolford in the game for East Brunswick. And she replaces Caitlin Park.
South Brunswick center here has her right hand on the top of her stick, and East Brunswick player has her left hand. So that then they're on the same side. Usually you're on opposing each other. South Brunswick defense isn't going behind to play the girl, which is, I think, very smart.
Is that a tactic of some kind?
Yeah, because if a defender goes behind the goal to play her girl, chances are the attacker can just sprint around and beat her and have a clear advantage right in front of the goal.
Well, you can see there's a lot of foot races here.
It's a nice.
As Tanya Earl, number 2, came flying down the field.
Great save by East Brunswick goalie Danny Schneider.
South Brunswick with it again.
Interception.
At this level of the game, you're looking to have probably your best catchers up front.
Yeah, and your runners in the midfield.
Fastest players on the outside, your wings.
Right.
They the ones who do the most work.
They do a lot. And the center, they're all over the field. It's a nice goal by Justine Barbado. She did a nice little fake there.
Justine puts East Brunswick out in front, 7-2. Jen Regg giving some instructions to players on the sideline. Some of the basics, I guess, that you work on at this level of the game if you're a first or second year program.
Yeah.
Catching, hanging on to the ball.
Ground balls are extremely important at this level because...
Picking them up, you mean?
Yes, because a lot of the time the ball's on the ground.
What kind of drills would you be working on if you were, trying to master the basics?
Just fundamental drills, shuttles, which is, you have a few players on one side, a few players on the other, and just passing back and forth and running and doing a lot of fundamental skills.
Good save by the South Brunswick keeper, Danielle Fiorentino. Here comes Tanya Earl racing the other way for South Brunswick. You've seen the speed before. It's outside the 12-meter line. South Brunswick with another chance. This is Priya Nanjapan in tight. Schneider steered it aside. And the goalie is allowed to throw the ball outside of her crease.
Yeah.
Well, how much?
Well, she can walk out of there, but as soon as she steps out of the crease with the ball, she's just like any other player. You can check her and get the ball back.
Is there a time limit as to how long she can hang on to it?
Yes, she can only hang on to it in the crease for 10 seconds. Then she has to leave the crease.
Here comes Earl again, down the right side. The flag. Earl is in, loses the ball, and now the whistle. Just a couple of minutes away from halftime. East Brunswick leads this one by the score of 7-2. The Bears in search of their first win of the season. This is Earl, number 2, curling behind the net. Danny Schneider keeping an eye. There's a lob in front. East Brunswick will take it the other way with a whistle.
That was a check too close to the body.
Bears on the attack. Here's McMillan lurking in front.
South Brunswick player almost went in the crease. If that had happened, it would have been East Brunswick possession, but she saved herself.
Millen giving chase. East Brunswick, South Brunswick the other way.
Well, there's also another rule on defense that when you're on defense, you can't be in the 8-meter more than a stick's length away from your girl for more than 3 seconds. That's a penalty, and the other team would get a free position.
So we're seeing a fairly gross violation at this point. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Just kind of like in basketball. Can't be in the key.
3 seconds.
Right.
3 seconds in the lane. Prevents kind of just clogging of bodies in front of the net.
Right.
McMillan behind the net will set up. Again, they choose not to guard her.
think that might have been a body ball.
And with that opportunity, too, on the pass from McMillan, you could see a player not actually opt to catch the ball, but just kind of stick it in, almost swing at it and try to punch it in.
Yeah.
And a matchstick that time. Just kind of poked at it. Do you actually try to catch it in the webbing and flick it at the same time, or is it more just a jab at the ball and you hope to hit it with the stick?
Right, yeah. That's a pretty tough task to do.
There's a matchstick lurking in front.
Millen's putting some pressure on the goalie. I imagine that would be really frustrating to be a goalie and have someone in your face.
Not only does she run about 80 miles an hour, but she's standing there waiting for you to get rid of the ball as well.
Right.
It's a fair game, I guess. If she were to knock it down on the goalie pass, she could just scoop it and shoot it as long as she weren't in the crease.
Yeah.
All right, we've come to the end of the first half. East Brunswick 7, South Brunswick 2. More in a moment. All right, getting set for second half action. East Brunswick leading this one by the score of 7-2 over South Brunswick. Gordy Deal alongside Reagan Tetti. So tell us a little bit about what we're going to see in the second half.
Well, I think we'll probably see a little more. South Brunswick probably will try to penetrate a little bit more, get a little more momentum going. Hopefully their coaches talk to them about smart passes and catches and basic fundamental things, ground balls.
We can see how dangerous, obviously, that Janine McMillan is for East Brunswick when she gets the ball.
They clearly look to her.
By the same token, we've seen some good running by Tanya Earl, Delilah Atkins for South Brunswick. Is it a matter of making the link passing-wise and getting those girls the ball? Because clearly they have some speed and can be dangerous, but they don't always have the ball. It seems like whenever they touch the ball, they can be dangerous. Is
right. Yeah, I think that's true. I think what South Brunswick probably needs to work on is actually when the ball gets down there to, well, that's a nice goal, to actually finish what they're doing.
Right.
Because they keep getting into the arc and something happens where they'll drop it, or they need to actually finish.
Lauren Clark with the goal for East Brunswick. It's now 8-2. We talked a little bit before about this kind of this region of New Jersey, and you're from Philadelphia suburbs, basically, and how this region is kind of a hotbed for soccer, especially this program here at East Brunswick High School. Right. How often or how early did you start?
I started playing lacrosse when I was in 7th grade, and actually now they're starting as early as 10 years old, 9 years old for, you know, club teams. There's a lot of club programs going on. It's getting huge out there, you know, bigger, and I think it's great now that they're starting to catch on here. It's a beautiful sport, and it's a lot of fun too.
I guess you could almost equate the strategy a bit to basketball. We talked about violations for players standing in areas they're not supposed to be standing in on defense, or
right,
the kind of jump ball to start the game or to restart the game after goals. But probably running-wise and athletically, it's probably most equivalent to soccer with the amount of running that they do.
Yeah, there's so much running. Actually, when you get to higher levels, the similarities between basketball start becoming a lot more apparent. In terms of a lot of programs will work the ball around that arc, you know, just like in basketball, you just swing it, get some momentum going, right, and then just try to penetrate into the goal.
East Brunswick with the ball in the home white jerseys. And working from left to right. There's a pass from McMillan. He's got some open real estate.
That was a real nice pass by McMillan to the inside. One thing I think both teams are doing well is they're using the sides of the field more than the middle.
Kelly O'Toole, number 4, on the run for South Brunswick. One of the interesting things, too, is that really the boundaries in lacrosse are natural. So
right.
The players are really only kind of limited by the space that's available. No real boundary behind the goals until you get to some of the track
right.
facilities. Here's O'Toole again for South Brunswick. And another save by Schneider.
Kick to her advantage there. I'm noticing too, I think pretty much all the players out here have plastic sticks. And when I started, pretty much everyone had wooden sticks. And there's a real different technique between plastic and wooden sticks.
How so?
It's actually, I think, more difficult to play with a plastic stick. Just the way they're shaped. The technique is a little more advanced.
Here's O'Toole again for South Brunswick on the right wing and a whistle. It's not actually a weather system we have moving in over the top of us. Those are actually some kids running around the aluminum bleachers. So fear not, your television's okay. We are in the second half. Again, 2 25-minute halves. East Brunswick leading this one 8-2. Hoping for their first victory of the season. Again, if you've joined us late, no contact in the girls lacrosse game. It's only a finesse game. No swatting of the sticks. Won't hear the clanging of the plastic. Players don't wear helmets. In some ways, they're braver than the men in that they don't wear helmets. We did see in the girls game, the JV game rather, one of the players actually take a knock right near the eye. And it's almost difficult to explain how hard that ball is.
Yeah.
It's like a rock with sort of a soft edge around it.
Yeah.
Heavier than a baseball, but really just heavy and really hard. Can cause severe welts and bruises. Let's leave it at that. Here comes McMillan on the fly.
And really using her speed to her advantage.
She'll set up camp again behind the goal. This time South Brunswick opts to guard her.
Right, that may have been something that, that was a nice goal. That was probably what you talked about earlier.
That or an accident.
Yeah.
Well, either way, East Brunswick gets it done. It's now 9-2.
Yeah, that might have been something that South Brunswick coach told them to take care of, put a little more pressure behind.
This is probably a difficult spot for some of the coaches, Gail DeMarco and at South Brunswick and Jen Regg at East Brunswick, where you are facing some competition against some really well-established clubs. So on one hand, you're trying to make your team competitive with X's and O's, and on the other hand, many of them are still kind of learning the basics. So it's almost like lacrosse 101 at practice, and then but part of the
Right.
practice, I guess, probably has to be allocated for lacrosse 501 when you're playing some of these more established programs.
Right. But you know, I really think that's the way to do it, is to play against the big timers. You'll learn real fast that way.
Is this one of those sports where, say, you know, like basketball, you could shoot, excuse me, free throws at the park and kind of improve that, or lacrosse, it's just a matter of handling the stick or dropping the ball and picking it up and working on things like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could do ground ball pickups, you know, right in your backyard over and over again. I guess, you know, just like you could shoot hoops. Or catching is obviously a little harder because you need someone to be your partner, or you can go to like a wall. That's what I used to do.
Just flick it off a wall.
Right, just constantly. Used to draw a box on it with some chalk actually and sort of aim for it.
Aim for where you might
Right.
pass, or yeah.
And it's, you know, just practice.
Good thing about a lacrosse ball, I guess it never really deflates.
Right.
You don't have to worry about wearing it out.
Not
Or do
at
you?
all. No, just
Nope.
getting dirty. Sometimes they get dirty, but performance is the same. Yeah, South Brunswick definitely putting a little more pressure now. Nice inside pass. Flag is thrown. That's a 3-second violation.
Lee Ingram, the captain, number 11, with some good stick handling that time. And South Brunswick with the violation. Shot by Lauren Clark goes wide. And McMillan will reset. Now, from a strategy standpoint, here's your leading scorer who's actually looking to set up the goal this time. Or as she has been, actually.
Yeah, McMillan.
Is that because she's probably one of your best passers? Wouldn't
Yeah.
you want her catching the ball? She's got
She's
5 of the 9 goals.
Yeah, she's kind of doing it all. She's setting it up and receiving and scoring, which is unusual. Usually have your, you know, your good passers behind the goal and then your good shooters in front of it.
South Brunswick with the attack. Shot, I think, hit off the crossbar.
One thing that East Brunswick is doing very well is after the shot, they're, you know, again, like in basketball, they're getting the rebound and getting it out of there. That's real important because you don't want the other team to have multiple shots on goal.
Here comes McMillan again in front.
She just attempted a shovel shot, which is a different kind of shot. It's when you bring your stick to the other side of your body and actually it looks like you're shoveling and try to project the ball. It's difficult. You rarely see that at higher levels also because higher levels you start switching hands and using your left hand at the top, and you'll take a left-handed shot then instead of bringing it to the other side of your body and shooting. It's a nice check.
Good defensive play by Lee Ingram.
If Ingram was a little bit behind and checked that, it probably would have been called, and she would have had to go behind, but she established good body first.
Number 13 is Allie Nemchik for South Brunswick. And players can only make a downward swinging motion
Right.
at the opponent's stick.
No up into the face.
That's good around prom time, I guess. Isn't that what you were talking about before?
Yeah. Everyone starts to get a little nervous around prom time. But I think they actually have another month or so. So even if they did get clocked, probably be healed by then.
Got some built-in recovery time.
Right.
9-2, East Brunswick leading South Brunswick. Here in the second half at J. Doyle Field. Cordy Deal alongside Reagan Tetti. Reagan, a former player at Rutgers University, out of Conestoga High School, just outside Philadelphia. A hotbed of lacrosse down there.
Yes, a powerhouse.
Powerhouse. Just ask her, she'll tell you. But a great experience for you and getting a chance to go to the NCAA tournament last year.
Absolutely. The earlier, the better. Start them young.
Far side, Tanya Earl for South Brunswick, number 2, who we saw be dangerous a number of times in the first half. Kind of quiet here in the second half until now. Earl whips one wide. South Brunswick again on the attack.
That's a double team. They're putting a lot of pressure on her.
Delilah Atkins for South Brunswick, number 34.
Delilah having some trouble trying to get rid of the ball.
South Brunswick working behind the net. Tanya Earl.
Now when there's a double team like that, that means that another girl is open. So that other girl should probably be making herself known as to where she is so she can get that ball and shoot.
What's the opportunity for girls in the off season to play lacrosse? Camps at Rutgers, I guess, was probably some territory you're familiar with.
Rutgers has a few clinics. I highly recommend those. Just really to play inside as much as you want. You know, high schools have gyms, so just throw around in there. If you're not playing other sports.
Or I guess if you have a cement basement with non-breakable things.
Yeah,
certainly.
that would help.
It's kind of been A story of two halves here so far. East Brunswick led this 7-2 at halftime. Only 2 goals since. It is now 9-2. There's a lob behind the net. East Brunswick with a chance. Lauren Clark. Clark looking for help. Lots of time. Now they send a player to put some pressure on.
East Brunswick making a lot of cuts.
Clark opts to go herself and throws it wide.
Another isolation play, what they're called.
Chrissy Fessel with the shot there. A pushing call on South Brunswick.
We'll have a free position, 8 meter. Now there's several hashes along that 8 meter, and the ones in the middle are, I think, clearly the advantage. And sometimes you'll get real lucky and there won't even be any defenders on either side of you. Then you can kind of take it to one side and pick what shot you want to do on the goalie.
And ideally, you just want to get from your 8 meters to the top of that goalie's crease as quickly as possible before anybody else has a chance to run alongside and distract you, because they cannot stand in front of you.
No. Each one of those hash marks on the 8 meter are 4 meters apart from each other. So you could have, you know, 2 girls on either side of you, both 4 meters apart, or you could have none, depending on where the other girls are. But if there's a penalty, then the girl that caused the penalty will be 4 meters behind you, and that's on that 12-meter arc that you see.
East Brunswick with a restart. Chrissy Fessel throws it wide.
I'm seeing a lot of what my coach would call no-angle shots.
Shooters always think they have an angle, don't they?
Right. Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised sometimes they can score with literally virtually no angle. I don't know how, but it happens a lot. Happens a lot in men's lacrosse also.
Similar trick in hockey, I guess, where you have no angle, try to clank it off the goalie's skates and kind of steal one that way.
Right. Yeah, see, with these natural boundaries, the ref will pretty much blow the whistle when she gets kind of out of range, and then she'll bring it back on.
And is it kind of, you know, I chased it there, therefore I get it possession?
Yeah, that's exactly how it works, actually. The closest girl gets it.
South Brunswick finally gets possession after what seemed like eons of East Brunswick ball. They could use the possession. They trail by 7 goals here in the second half. South Brunswick on the attack. In the full sprint is Kelly O'Toole, number 4.
That was another one of those shovel shots.
Jen Gaze with the shovel shot attempt for South Brunswick. Schneider steps way out. Throws up the right wing. Time winding down. East Brunswick getting ready to celebrate its first victory of the year. Here comes McMillan.
McMillan trying to get one more with a nice shovel shot.
The shovel shot works. McMillan with her 6th goal of the night. And East Brunswick now leads at 10-2. High fives are done with the sticks.
Right.
It's one of the few sports you could actually get injured high-fiving another player. Have a problem on the draw.
Yeah, sometimes now what they're going to do is a throw, and the ref's going to throw the ball up.
Seems much easier than the draw.
It is. It's a lot easier. Sometimes if a girl draws two, like before the whistle, then they'll do a throw, or if it's a mutual mess up, then they'll do the throw.
Big change in terms of scheduling for East Brunswick this year. Last year they only played 12 games. This year they are going to play 21.
Wow.
Game 5 of the season here tonight. There's a shot and another goal for East Brunswick. So East Brunswick now leading it by the score of 11-2. Bears well in command and en route to win number 1 of the season. Well, Janine McMillan is East Brunswick's leading scorer. She came into tonight's game with 11 goals. She has added better than 50% to that total with 6 here against South Brunswick, and now has 17. Janine's only a sophomore. South Brunswick again on the attack. And another flag.
It's been a real great job by East Brunswick goalie tonight. She had quite a few saves.
Well, who's got the most challenging job? Would it be the goalie trying to stop this miniature ball in a fairly large-sized net, or would it be the wings who have to do the most running, or the stick handling of the up-front players? How would you assign that?
I think it's...
Hold on. Let me ask you what position you played first.
I played defense.
Just so I can tell if you're being biased here. Go ahead.
I'm a little biased, I know. But I did play offense for the first 8 years, and then I kind of realized pretty late that I was a natural defender, and kind of succeeded that way a lot more than ever before.
So who's got the toughest job?
Oh, it's real even. I mean,
just because different positions require different things.
Absolutely. I mean, an attacker, sometimes you're playing against a goalie that's you know, an All-American, to get that ball in the cage is extremely hard. And the same way for the goalies. And I mean, and that, you know, then the center has to run back and forth across the field and take the center draws. Everyone's got their own responsibilities.
Lauren Clark with the shot for East Brunswick. Bears in command, 11-2. So actually such thing as an offsides?
No. I mean, no. I don't think so. I mean, they say offsides, but then most of the time it's just because there's too many over the restraining line. But
Here's McMillan again. McMillan with her 7th goal tonight. East Brunswick now leads 12-2.
you don't see really the technical offsides because of the way that the field is set up with the first homes being right, you know, next to the goalie.
All right, and there's the end of the game. East Brunswick wins it by a score of 12-2, make it on the strength of Janine McMillan's 7 goals. Quite a performance. Talk about her play.
She really just was the one that the team looked to for the goals. She really is a leader out there. And I just think both teams deserve a lot of respect for getting out there and competing at the high school level, having, you know, so little experience. I think it's great and wonderful, and just keep playing lacrosse.
There's the pitch from Reagan Tetti, my play-by-play partner, color analyst tonight. Thanks for all your help. Great job breaking the game down.
Thank you very much.
All right, East Brunswick with the win improves to 1-4 on the season as they celebrate victory number 1. South Brunswick falls to 1-2. Final score once again, East Brunswick 12, South Brunswick 2 on the strength of Janine McMillan's 7 goals. For Reagan Tetti and the rest of our crew here at Channel 8, I'm Gordy Deal. Have a good night, everybody.